So, we're over a month into MLB 24 at this point, and there's been a lot of cards that have released. And some have been absolutely incredible, some have been good, and some not so good. So of course we're going to rank them the only way we know how, on the tier list. Basically, almost kind of every diamond in MLB The Show 24 per position. Leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and let me know in the comment section where I went wrong and where I went right, if it so applies. But first, a quick word from Underdog Fantasy. Baseball is officially back, and that means Underdog is in full swing. And they've really stepped up their game this year, with more player prompts than ever. It's as simple as it could be. You just pick a higher or lower on a player's prop, such as Ronald Acuna Jr.'s fantasy points, or you could get a bit freaky with the peppers. These are enhanced multipliers. You see Fernando Tatis hitting a home run would net you a 2.75 multiplier, dramatically increasing your payout. This year for baseball, Underdog is launching rescues. If a player in the starting lineup gets taken out of the game before his third plate appearance, you can be eligible for a rescue, which in today's MLB, where seemingly everybody gets hurt, is very helpful. You guys can use my promo code GOMES, and you'll get a $100 deposit match. I've been loving playing Underdog while watching the game so far this season, and you guys make sure to check them out. Thank you to Underdog for sponsoring the channel. And we'll first start out at the catchers. We have all secondaries on here. Not each and every card in the game is here, because it would be impossible to fit some of them, because there's just so many cards that have released. But for the most part, we're going to put every card that you could possibly want to play. And here at catcher, again, it's a position this year with sets and seasons pretty easy to fill out, not too expensive. There's a lot of guys on C tier like the Harry Ford, the Ivan Rodriguez you might have used at some point, but you've probably graduated on from then. You've got guys like Adley Rutschman and Alejandro Kirk at the B tier. Obviously, Live Series has the benefit of Inside Edge and the chance to get supercharged, which can make them better. Adley's already good, so an Inside Edge boost is just going to make him even better. Kirksey, and for anybody, we're not going to add in the fact that he might get a boost, whether it be the Byron Buxton captain boost, the Nolan Arenado, a theme team. I'm not your mother. I don't get to choose what your team looks like, so we just have to go strict out of the box, and that stubby little man is going to be at B tier. Otherwise, there's some solid cards there at B, but once we move on to A is where you really start to see the separation, and there's still guys that were here at launch, of course, like Gary Sanchez, Yasmani Grandal, there's that Joe Mauer, that new Joe Torre. He does fit the Nolan Arenado captain boost, and he gets really, really good. But honestly, just straight up, he's a good card. Higo, you're going to see him on here a lot. Of course, can play practically everywhere. Mike Piazza, really good card as the Dodgers collection. Langoliers, don't sleep on him. He's got good defense with the pop time and max arm with like 70 speed behind the dish. This James McCann at tops now, also pretty dang good. And then round things out, the only two S tiers is going to be Mike Napoli and Mitch Garver. Really two of the same kind of guys there. They've both got great hitting stats, and they both come to the ballpark without a glove. But damn it, see them hit, they don't need one. We'll move on to first base here. This is, of course, going to be a stacked position. There's going to be so damn many cards here. And unfortunately, we got guys like Vogie. We've got guys like Votto here. You know, the one-trick ponies, the platoon bats, essentially. We just can't really put them too high. If you need a righty killer, Ryan Howard's the man for you. So a couple cards here, they're certainly fine enough, but obviously we're going to get one hell of a lot better. Here at B tier, a couple guys I'm kind of disappointed to see here. Vlad Guerrero. I was pretty excited for this card. I thought you would see him a couple times, maybe within the game. I dare you to tell me one person you know personally that has that card. As far as I know, he does not exist. I haven't even seen him in Battle Royale, damn it. Yeah, it's like the Loch Ness Monster, I swear. You've got some other good cards here. Again, Martin DeHigo, the Sex Man, Richie Sexson, the new Ryan McMahon. This Tony Clark, I debated putting A tier. He's Battle Royale Jesus right now, or at least he was in the first chapter. Such a good switch hitter. Michael Bush, Xavier Isaac, couple really good lefty bats here. Just There's so many good bats. It's tough to put him too high. Will Myers, again, he's a guy that fits at a lot of positions, same as Lourdes Gurriel Jr., that are going to be interesting. Again, good bench options if you want someone who can fill in as a positional substitute later on in the game if you pinch hit for him. Here we've got A tier, which, again, speaking of positional versatility, that Brandon Drury, he is incredible. I mean, he's got such good hitting stats, and he can play a myriad of positions. He's really a wonder out there. We've got Adam Donkey Dong Dunn, really good. Freddie Freeman, great out of the box, add in inside edge every day. You've got Jeimer Candelario. You know, we talked, there's been one program released since launch. Well, he makes it almost worth it because he's so good. Josh Bell from the new Team Affinity is great, of course. Again, it's kind of disappointing. I mean, it's A tier for Rafi Palmeiro right here, which is pretty good. But considering he's a collection reward for the entire American League, leaves a lot to be desired. Obviously, that card just not as good as it could have been. Spencer Steer. You got to put a highlight on him. Again, a guy like Brandon Drury who fits so many damn positions. He is just so good. He's not an incredible defender, but he can really hit the shit out of a baseball, and that's probably what you hire him to do anyway. And you move on to S tier. It's the familiar suspects. You know, of course, we've got the two guys that you probably don't have. Babe Ruth as the MLB collection reward, George Brett in the season collection, and then Nick Castellanos. I did make a mistake when I initially graded out this card. He does have the swing that he used to in older games, where Nicky Two Bags was one of the best cards in MLB The Show. And we've got second base. There's, again, certainly some budget options here. You got a couple live series cards like Marcus Seaman, Francisco Lindor. They're okay. Sedan Rafaelia, you're going to see him lower ranked. He's just a defensive first player, which, again, you see half the people in ranked seasons using the Byron Buxton Captain Boost, where they add on 10 speed, 10 fielding. You don't really need a defensive first kind of guy. I mean, you know, it's hard for the Miles Straws of the world to get a job in Diamond Dynasty. They're not too sought after. I think more people would rather play Yordan Alvarez in center than, you know, a guy like Sedan Rafaelia. Unfortunately so, Red Sox fans. But go to B tier. There's some cool cards here for sure. You've got Jackson Holiday. You've got this Javi Baez back when he was good. Jorge Polanco, great card, of course. Great budget option. Only goes for about $10K right now. A lot of people, and I will be willing to change this. Apparently, some people say Luis Angel Acuña is incredible. He's got a great swing to him. I haven't tested it myself. We're just looking at the pure attributes right here. Put him in B tier for now. You've got the Whitley Castro, again, just a true wonder. And if you put him with the Byron Buxton boost, he'd definitely be an A tier. You've got Albies, always an inside edge monster. Tony Stone. Don't knock her. She's got a little pop to her as well. Move up towards the top of B. You've got Adalberto Mondesi. I did not put a lot of the captain cards here just because you basically cannot get them. You've been limited to like 3 or so this year, so I didn't really want to put a ton of cards that are physically impossible for you guys to get at the moment. But Mondi, a lot of people took, and a lot of people hit home runs against him with me. You've got Dozier, really good card there. That Locker Co. Chris Taylor, which was an interesting thing that they decided to do. In A tier, again, you've got guys like this Soriano. He can only play second, but he's really good. Colt Keith. If you didn't know the name, you know him by now. He's one of the best free cards they've put out this year. Jackie, he's always good. Got more line drive power, not a lot of homers unless you play at Costco, but I won't knock it. Ellie De La Cruz. Should have been an S tier card, but unfortunately only an A. He's a little mid, but he's a 94, so he's still good enough to be an A. Roderick Arias is a really good card. You see Spencer Steer there as well as Waldo Cabrera making another appearance in the A tier. Mookie Betts, supercharged every other day. Not at the moment, so he's only going to be an A tier. Then we move up to S. Second base is a little thin for the top end. I'm going to put Corey Seager here. A little bit of personal bias because he's one of my favorite cards year in, year out. He's got a great swing to him, great quirks, always up on inside edge. Then Ian Happ. If you can afford him, he's one of the best utility guys in the game. He's just so good at everything. Third base, the hot corner. Defense matters, and, well, offense still matters too at the end of the day. You see guys like, again, Urfelia, Rocchio, Wright. Just not enough offense. I hate to say it. It's an offensive first game this year, and you really need to swing the salami. You got guys like Mike Lowell, who he's only C tier, but he's actually really good. He's free in the ranked season's reward path, and he's one of the best versus lefty bench bats that you have in the game right now. I see a lot of guys running John Don, a lot of guys running Randy Johnson. Perfect guy to have on your bench and platoon him if those guys are starting. You've got Polanco once again. Max Muncy, if you're playing on lower difficulties, he's really good. Obviously, contact and vision is going to matter more as you rank up to Hall of Fame Legend difficulty. But your veteran all-star, he's going to play like some of the best cards of the game because it's just almost pure power at that point. Miguel Andujar is actually pretty solid. So is this Michael Young. Like, Michael Young always just slips under the radar. He's like a perfect machine because he got a ton of contact. Ty Estrada for the Giants. Like that card again for sure. You got the Rhino, who, again, a lot of these pack cards you probably haven't ever seen. Kind of like Vlad. They're just too damn expensive. Nobody can afford them. So they're good. You just won't care because you're not going to buy them because there's better cards for free. And then we move on up to upper B and A tier. See that Colson Montgomery had very good success with them this year. Jake Berger, again, he fits the Buxton boost, but just base stats, he's really good. So is JD Davis, one of the BR cards from last chapter. Adrian Beltre, he's one of those guys that just seem to get really good animations at third base. So that definitely propels his value up a bit. Eddie Matthews, it might be the same damn card art. It might frustrate me, but damn it, the performance is also the same every year. Awesome. He hits dingers, and yeah, that's really all he does. He bats. He doesn't really field. You see Jamer, you see Oswaldo Cabrera, you see Spencer Steer, you see Drury. Again, a lot of guys that can just be Swiss Army knives, play everywhere. That new Chipper Jones in Battle Royale, pretty dang good. Got really fat PCIs. And you move up to S tier, we got the new Bobby Witt Jr. at third base. His secondary, but he's still really good there. You've got, again, George Brett, Ian Happ, Nicky Two Bags, and then Kyle Seager, Corey's brother. We actually put ahead at third base because that's his primary. And, well, the older brother needs something in life. Moving on to shortstop. Unfortunately, Derek Jeter, this is the best card at the moment, 85 overall. He's a C tier player in MLB The Show. It's kind of where he grades out at this point. I'm surprised that Justin Turner can even play shortstop. I wouldn't recommend it, but he technically can. Again, you've got this DeMar Johnson. We haven't mentioned him yet, but really good. Again, with the Buxton boost, he's awesome, but man, does he hit tanks for being such a small frame. He's like the lefty Altuve, just without the buzzer. You've got, again, Dihigo. This Sebastian Walcott, if you want a guy with a bunch of power, bunch of speed, bunch of defense, he's your man. He's going to go for pretty little. He was in that newest pack there on the market for the Future Star. I can't think of the name, so we're just going to go with Future Stars. We've got, again, some same guys that you see here at shortstop. Couple new faces in last TA. Brandon Crawford, Carlos Correa. Still pretty good options there. But this Rich Aurelia, I know a lot of people, or some people, are starting to get up to the amount of cards you need to collect to get him. He's really good. He's only a 93, which, of course, is what Team Affinity is now. And you think he might get outpaced? I don't know. He just seems to hit bullets off the bat every single time for me. So if you haven't gotten him yet, definitely be on the lookout. But if you do have him and haven't given him a shot, put him in the damn lineup because he's really good. Which is super speed to the end here. O'Neal Cruz at shortstop. He's so good. His fielding rating on its own might be a little lower, but he's 7'3", max speed. And how super dives are in this game, he literally covers the entire infield. He's so good. Ernie Banks, I know most people didn't give a shit about him because Randy, but he's on the vault pack. He's like 40K. For 93, he's probably a better hitter than most of the team affinity cards. He's pretty damn good. So give him a look as well. And then Bobby as well. And you've got J-Raw, who, of course, most people with lives, anybody who even has a quarter of a life, probably does not have this card yet. But once we get further on in the season, you're going to see how good he is. Outfielders, we just went on a lump sum. I did rank people higher or lower depending on your defense. So if you see an incredible hitter, but is slow as shit and has a hole in their mitt, yeah, they're probably going to be a little bit lower than they probably could have been. You know, example, Richie Sexton, Rhys Hoskins, a couple guys right there with that same conundrum, attribute dysfunction, something many men face. But then you see a lot of players for the first time. This James Wood, he's not very good unless you do have the Buxton boost because his vision is like 30. This guy's got to get LASIK at some point. Maybe next season we'll have a captain that boosts vision. That'll help James out a little bit. Josh Bell, I don't know if we talked about him for first base, but he's an excellent hitter. Of course, 93 overall, switch hitter. Loved his cards in the past. He's just not an outfielder, and he's going to be in C tier as a result of it. Jung-Oh Lee, really nice swing on this man. I really like that card. Lawrence Butler, kind of a wild card. Kind of like a Buxton-esque, but definitely more favored versus righties as a lefty bat. More of a platoon sort of guy. Griffey, please put out a good card for him. He's too good to only have this good a card. The new Bryce Harper in Battle Royale fits the Buxton boost. He's going to get a lot better with that. Couple last season Team Affinity GOATs. Yeah, Cedric Mullins, Charlie Blackmon, Giancarlo Stanton, really good options. Judge, he's got like 30 speed at this point. It's tough. It's tough to play him anywhere but DH, which is unfortunate because if you watch baseball, you know he's still a good outfielder. It just sucks, man. I swear nobody at that studio has access. It's in San Diego. You can't tell me the New York Yankee games are blackout. You've got Aaron Hicks, really good card. You probably didn't take a look at him because he's in a pack, but really good card. Tyler O'Neill, again, pack card, really good. Steer, we talked about him already ad nauseum. Michael Conforto, I love him. He's got such a great swing. I wish I could put him higher, but he's got stone blocks for feet in the outfield. It's tough to play him outside of the DH. Speaking of playing outside of the DH, Jordan, especially with the captain boost, maybe the best hitter of the game, but he's unplayable in the outfield. He's got like 40 fielding, probably about the same arm, and even less speed somehow. So he can't catch it, he can't throw it in, and he can't run it in. It might as well be an automatic inside the park home run if he hit it in his direction, which is unfortunate, but he will get some back on the offensive end. You've got Eddie Matthews again. Inter McCutcheon, like this card a bunch. He's pretty damn good. Drew Jones covers a lot of ground, not a great hitter. Dylan Cruz still very valuable, even as a debut card that launched with the game. Wyatt Langford, you see a handful of guys in the A tier right here. Chase DeLuder, new card for the Guardians. Emmanuel Rodriguez, really good stuff. Greg Vaughn, tremendous hitter, fits the Buxton boost, becomes one of the best offensive guys in the game. Roman Anthony, he's a paid card. He's in a pack, but he's incredible. Acuna, of course, is already going to be good. Gets inside edge every single day. Ryan Braun in the new Battle Royale. Get him. He's going to be cheap. Get him. He's so good in DD. Ohtani, of course, he can play outfield in a video game, just not in real life. And he's a great option there. He's got good enough defense, good speed, which is going to help out. Juan Soto, I swear he might be the best hitter in the game. Attributes be damned. Just look at the statistics. Play with him and see how he does. He's so good. Jarren Duran, another guy. It feels weird to talk about the guys that are in the packs because, again, I feel like most people don't care. They go for so much on the market. They have such little staying power with how fast the power creep goes. I mean, I can make a tier list 2 weeks from now, and those that Jarren Duran would probably be in C tier. And he's going for 100K. That's just how the cookie crumbles right now. And then S tier, you got your familiar faces. You've got your rewards, your Babe Ruth, Larry Walker, Willie Mays, and then Trout. He's always going to be here until he retires, damn it. He's inevitable. He's so good. The best swing of the game. Ian Happ, Mike Cameron. Also, Mike Cameron, again, kind of the Ernie Banks syndrome. I know everybody wants Jacob deGrom. Look at Mike Cameron. He's really good. Checking out the starting pitchers. This is where it gets a little bit fun because you start to see lower overalls be higher on the list and higher overalls be lower on the list. A lot of it has to do with the pitch mix, not so much what's on the upper right of your diamond shield. So in D tier, you see some guys that are pitchable, I guess. You could use them. I would not recommend it. C tier, we got a bunch of guys. Yoshi, I really wish his card was better in the game. It's not. Chris Sale, I do not like his cards. I know some people claim that they can work him. Maybe. You've got Renaud Blanco, Garrett Crochet. Unfortunately, 2 of the 4 season award drop program top players in C tier, just not very good, not great pitch mixes. You got kind of a lot of guys at this point, C tier. You can definitely use them, but they're certainly better. B tier, this is where you get pretty good. You again see a lot of cards in Team Affinity like the JV, the JR Richard, pretty obtainable guys. You've got the Tom Seaver, very cheap. I really have had great success with that card this year. Mike Soroka, also a couple spot starts I've performed well with. I can't hit Nolan Ryan any year. Could be a bronze. He'd still no hit me. Paul Skeen's really cheap now, of course, with the pack and Team Affinity, if you want to try him out. Again, it is only a 90, but I think pitchers are always kind of the exception to the rule where they can play above their ratings. And then you've got right here, A tier, new Andrew Painter in events, really, really good. Babe Ruth, obviously, is going to be a better hitter than pitcher. He's a good pitcher, but he's absolutely hittable. The main thing with him, he's just got higher attributes than most right now, so he's still going to be better than most. That's just how it is. Dollander, I think, is one of the best cards out of Team Affinity. He's got great velo and great K per 9. As far as pitchers go, the most important stat I look at right now, K per 9, strikeouts, because everybody fouls off too many damn pitches. Edward Cabrera, great stuff, hard to control. Jackson Joby, I like him. Fast fastball, slower cutter. Makes it difficult to pick up on. You got John Don, Randy, your couple lefties, and a new one in Noah Schultz. Keep an eye on him. He's really, really good, and he's got a deceptive motion. Pedro, again, he's not incredible, but he's a 95. He kind of sticks with the top pack right now. Shohei, really good. Shohei seems a lot better this year. I don't know what it is, but Ohtani's pretty hard to pick up on, at least for me. Then the best of the best, S tier. That's how I'm setting the field. Al Leiter, Andy Pettitte, Jacob deGrom, and Satchel Paige. None of these are in any particular order except for their tiers, but these are the best of the best. If you're going to have the best possible team, deGrom is better than ever right now towards the meta. Satchel, I don't love Satchel Paige cards, but he's one of the few 99, so of course he's going to be one of the best. Pettitte's got that sinker cutter combo, pretty easy to control. Then Al Leiter, yeah, you're going to want to get that card. Seriously, he's better than Satchel Paige, and you get him earlier than you get Satchel Paige. The right-handed relievers, you've got serviceable guys for sure. Munoz, Edwin Diaz, Clase, Mandingo. Okay pitches. Okay. You've got Bruce Sutter, Brian Abreu, Leclerc, Kenley Jansen. I really wish this card was better. Mason Miller. Again, they dropped his cutter from his live series, which is unfortunate. I get he doesn't throw it in real life, but damn it, it's a video game. Come on. Let's have some fun. Especially if that's a card you want us to pay for. You better make it good. You better make it enticing. He still will be good, though. I still think he can be pretty good. Rysel, I really like that for a free card. You go up to the A tier. Ah, fuck it. We already spoiled it. A tier, Ottavino is always going to be really good. He is a pack card. You do have to pay a little bit for him. So is Jason Foley. So is Evan Phillips. Unfortunately, a lot of the relievers, I think the only free one here, or the two free ones, Dibble and Raleigh Fingers. I will say Joe Kelly, they changed his motion this year. It is really difficult to pick up on. It's glitchy in a way, but not so much in a way that they'll patch it. It's just really tough to see. So an 87 is really good. If you wanted to get insane, you know, you see like Evan Phillips, Joe Kelly, Eric Gagne. If you wanted to do a Dodgers theme team, it would be insanely good. The dibbler is always going to dibble. He's going to be pretty good. The sliders right now in particular are very effective. If you didn't know, the sliders cause a decreased PCI size for some reason. Just shrinks up, kind of like your manhood when you get out of the pool. Raleigh Fingers, always one of my favorite relievers in the game. He's in the XP reward path. Very easy to get good relievers, but some of the best is going to be a little bit more difficult. And then finally, Lefty Arms. The S tier will just blow our load right away. Aaron Bummer, John Franco, and Ryan Baricki. That's how I'm going to call my S tier for the lefties. I think, again, Bummer, free. John Franco, free. Then Ryan, you will have to pay for. He's kind of a new face in the lefty bullpen. We don't really see him too often, because he's one of the newcomers here. But he's pretty damn good. You've, of course, got Andrew Miller back in the game. With the Ron Jeremy mustache. He's not as good. He doesn't have the changeup, at least on this card. I hate Billy Wagner. I always get shelled. He's just here for you guys because there's no way everybody else is quite as bad as I am with him. And lefty pens are just kind of thin right now. Taylor Rogers, if you want a recommendation for a captain to pick, I'd probably say him. Sarah J. Doesn't throw hard, but throws a lot of good pitches. He's going to be right around the strike zone constantly. You got Jose Avocado, Josh Hader. Again, you probably want only 3 lefty arms. 2 of these are free. Pretty easy to fill out your left-handed slots for your bullpen. But either way, that is how we shake out MLB 24. At this point, about nearing halfway of Season 1. It looks like we've got 45 more days remaining of Season 1. There's plenty more cards that are going to be coming soon, and that's how I grade them. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think? What are some really underrated cards that you guys have been using that are maybe down the depths in my rankings a bit, but have played like an S tier for you? And if you guys enjoyed this one, leave a like down below. Thank you for watching.